Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Let's talk Kings College softball. Joining us right now is the head coach, Lisa Gigliello. Well, Coach, your young ladies are young, but as the season has gone on, your team has gotten better. Talk about where you're at right now as you get ready for the playoffs coming this weekend.
No, we've been really busy just trying to get into the playoffs. We started out pretty erratic at the beginning of the season because we had so many new people. I mean, we graduated 8 seniors last year, so those were big shoes to fill, and they were all really good players. So we've had some freshmen come in, a lot of talent, just needed experience, and the weather, unfortunately, at the beginning of the season was really a hindrance. We've only had at this point 3 practices on our field, so it's been a challenge.
Well, it's nice to see these young ladies come along here, the women at Kings, and play in some better softball. Coach, first thing, let's start with the bats. Tell us about the young ladies that are hitting the ball for you.
Well, that's been a big part of our success. We've had to score runs to win some games, and one of our juniors, Amy Kowalczyk, has been steady throughout the year, and she's been a really good calming factor in the lineup. And the freshmen now have started to really step up. They've been hitting here and there throughout the year, but now we're starting to put a couple hits together, and that's really what's enabled us to win these games.
Well, these freshmen that have come in, it's a big class, Coach. So you're able to put some things together at the end of this year. The future is bright, and you've done a nice job in 22 years there at Kings. But talk about this big freshman class.
Well, it was it's the biggest class we've had, I think, since I've ever been there. So it was a little daunting at the beginning because prior to this, we've had a lot of returning players that could kind of guide them and get them into the program. But these guys all came in from 10 different programs, so it was a challenge at the beginning to kind of get them on the same page. But they're working really hard. They're talented, and I expect nothing but good things from them.
Well, let's talk a little bit about some of these the bats. Deborah Renner is a freshman, done a nice job batting .409. Tell us about her.
She's so calm at the plate. It's surprising for a freshman. It doesn't matter if you're playing, the best team or the team lower in the standings. She approaches it exactly the same way. Very methodical, aggressive on strikes, and she's done a great job for us.
And then, of course, you have some other freshmen stepping up as well down the lineup as we go. You have a young lady from Coughlin in Ellsworth. Yeah,
she was a great surprise for us. She transferred in for the spring season, and she has improved tremendously. I mean, she always had the athletic ability, and now she's getting comfortable in her spot at third and in the lineup, and she just really blossomed.
Rachel Del Torre has provided a little bit of power for you this year.
Yes, actually, she had a home run, two-run home run yesterday in our game against FDU, and she's really strong, good athlete. Played basketball, so it took her a little while actually to get ramped up for softball. But then once she started going, she's doing a great job, and just behind the plate and at the plate. The core of our program has always been the fundamentals, and they've just worked really hard, and they're getting more and more confident and more comfortable. And I think that their ability is allowed to come out now a little bit more. And I can't talk enough about how much they've improved from the beginning of the year. If you had asked me at the beginning of the year where we'd be now, I would have said we were going to be sitting home watching these playoffs. But, I mean, they've just gotten better and better, and they've wanted to win, and they've done all the work. And we just, we're kind of the underdog going in here, without a doubt. I don't think we were expected to really make this kind of jump.
Coach, you mentioned all these different programs, and again, all these freshmen. You got Samantha Bloom out of Scranton. You got Brianna DiMaggio out of Myers. Just a lot of freshmen that have stepped up, and they're doing a good job at the plate, too.
Oh, they are, and it's funny because we've known they were capable of it, but just seeing them actually achieve some of the things they've done, and they have speed. Both of those players you mentioned, DiMaggio and Bloom, I mean, they're quick on the bases, so that's another dimension that they give us once they get out there.
Well, a whole bunch of freshmen are hitting the lineup at Kings. They're doing a tremendous job as Kings will host the Freedom Conference playoffs this coming weekend. Lisa Gigliello joining us right now. We thank you so much for your time, and we're rooting for the Monarchs.
Thank you very much.
Kings College women's softball here on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.